What's up guys, this is Taylor Jensen and this is my Summer Essentials quiver. So I've been riding these boards probably for about the last year or so. The Boss Ups more recently, the Sunday I've had my quiver for a little over a year and I'm really happy with them. So for me this is like a big step down. I live in a world of 9-foot plus longboards. This is kind of a little bit of freedom for me, an opportunity to step down in length and also kind of step up in performance and get things feeling a little different, get a little fresh, funky vibe going and yeah, just have more fun. So board number one is the Boss Up in I-Bolic Technology. This one that I've got here is the same one that I've been riding. It's a 7/6, 20 5/8, 3 1/8. So you can see it's got a longer rail line, that beautiful round pintail that Dan does. A little bit of a fuller outline, but when you stretch it out into this longer length, it's really proportionate. Good amount of volume in it for a 7/6, but not too much, and the rails are really foiled. So with the rail line this long in the Boss Up, what you're gonna notice is your turns are gonna be more drawn out. You get a lot of really like effortless flow and trim line going. You carry speed really well. When you go into your turn, it's not such an abrupt pivot, even with a thruster. You'll get that drawn out feel in your turns. So it's really nice to ride on kind of more of a flatter face wave or more of an open face where you can draw things out and just push all the way through turns. What you're gonna feel is just a more effortless way to surf. It's cruisier, you don't have to put so much effort into things, it's not so demanding. You can kind of sit back and cruise off the tail, draw out your turns. It doesn't have to be so aggressive. But the performance of the Boss Up's rail line, you can do it when you want to. But it's nice to know that paddle into a wave, you can just stand up, cruise, effortless flow and speed, draw out some turns, have a lot of fun. So I'm really lucky. I've had these boards down in Australia for the last few months. I just landed in the US. I got a fresh quiver for here. Pretty excited to go test them out. So the other board I've been lucky enough to have down in Australia is this Boss Up. This is a Boss Up in I-Bolic construction with a volcanic lamination. The one I've been riding down there is a 6/8, and the 6/8 is 6/8, 20 1/4 by 2 7/8. For me, this board is basically my go-to shortboard now. As you can see, it's got that low profile rail. It's kind of an even flow rocker, nothing too drastic, but enough. It's got a good amount of float and a ton of performance with that 5-fin option. I've been running it as a thruster. I like the pivot that has with that round tail. You still have all that drive. The board just feels super fast and loose. Got a ton amount of drive. Just super fun for me down on the point breaks in Australia to get to kind of let loose on this thing and step way down to my normal length and have a lot of fun. Once again, I got super lucky. My friend behind the scenes dropped me one of these in the Volcanic Lamination I-Bolic. These aren't out yet. They'll be out in a couple months' time. I definitely highly recommend that Volcanic Lamination if you want something that's got that durability and also a really quick response rate under your feet. They just feel super lively. And I love the fact that I know I'm on something that's pretty durable and good waves. The Boss Up in I-Bolic Technology, great response, super durable as well. Feels great under feet. Can't really fault them both. When you add the Volcanic Lamination, just gives you that little bit of performance edge that I really liked having in the shorter 6/8. So from a sizing perspective, I have a 6/8 and then I have a 7/6. The difference for me is the 6/8 fits better in the pocket, feels a little more performance-y, a little more shortboard feeling, but in a mid-length size. The 7/6, on the other hand, has a little more of that drawn-out mid-length feel that I kind of like coming off of longboards. I tend to be able to draw out my turns more. It has more of that flow and just that longer trim line that I'm used to on a longboard. So for me, that was that more familiar feeling. When I hopped on the 6/8, it was that more performance feeling, just that more, I'm on a shortboard, I can just kind of go to town and let loose, release the fins a little bit and have a lot of fun. And that's kind of the balance that I found. Okay, now stepping away from the Slater Designs range, I'm gonna step over into the Firewire range. The Sunday by Rob Machado. As you can see straight away, the foil on this is a much thicker foil. Way more paddle power in this thing. Got kind of a little bit of a flatter rocker too, definitely a flatter tail rocker. and just more volume throughout the whole thing. So if you want something that's gonna paddle a bit better, catch waves a little bit easier in a smaller size, this one's a 7.0. I would definitely recommend going with that. I have a 7.0 in Australia. I love it for the fact that I can kind of sit out past those crowded point break lineups and catch waves super easy. I can also chase waves. So my range of being able to catch a wave is a little bit farther than what it would be on a smaller board or something with a little less foil. So for anybody who's never ridden a keel fin before, I think what you feel is the drive. Immediately you're gonna feel that drive. As soon as you push on an edge, you have all that fin surface area pushing back against you, you just accelerate. It's super easy to fly down the line. You have built-in effortless speed. Still have that twin fin feel and performance that you want, and can get loose and do whippy little turns, but when you have that much drive, you have so much speed, flatter, softer waves, you can just float through sections, have way more fun. In California, the Sunday is just this paddle machine, catch tons of waves, full groveler, really just float, paddle anywhere, catch anything. From a paddling perspective with that added volume, summertimes get pretty crowded, especially in Southern California or anywhere in the world, I think. You can kind of go anywhere and catch any wave you want on this. You can sit out past the lineup, pick off the better waves, or you can sit underneath and kind of pick off the waves that double up and people don't catch, which a lot of times that's a better wave. So I think adding a little bit of volume to your boards for summer is a good idea. You're gonna catch more waves, you're gonna have more fun. So in Australia, I was riding the Sunday in Helium Technology. What I've picked up here is the Sunday in Helium Technology with the Volcanic Lamination. Again, it's just that enhanced response, increased durability, a little more performance. And for a guy who's my size, those things really make a difference. As a bigger guy, my quivers generally have a lot more volume than your average guy out there. I like just, foam's my friend. I mean, I'm a bigger guy. For me to catch waves, for me to compete in crowded lineups, I need a little bit more foam to paddle, catch waves, compete with everybody else out there. So my sort of leaderage is 40 plus. I like riding boards in that. My longboards go up 60 plus. These are sort of in the 40 to 50 range, and that seems to be a happy place for me, especially going into summertime.